we brought forth what seems to be a rather simple bill. And it's a bill that honors our brightest and best scholastic students here in Wisconsin. It doesn't matter what school they come from. It doesn't look at geographics. It doesn't look at the income base. It creates opportunity for all students. And we think that's a good thing. We hear lots of arguments about why we shouldn't do this, but on the other hand, we have heard from superintendents, principals, parents, and students that they would like this bill in place. Currently, we've got a down trend on attendance in our schools, so we probably have a higher level of acceptance at the current time, but we look at this for the long term, similar to what other states have done. Let's put something in code that requires that these students are given automatic access to our students. Is it a terrible thing that we would offer the top 5% of our students to the flagship university here in Madison? Is it a terrible thing that we'd offer the top 10% to the balance of our UW system? I've gotten used to something recently, and I've started to come up with the phrase in my mind that's repeating, and there's an awful lot of straw man arguments that take place in this building. They skip over the issue that's at hand. We've heard a lot of that today talking about engineering, but this bill isn't talking about engineering. It's talking about getting into general admission in our university system. This bill does something that's going to benefit Wisconsin. Number one, as taxpayers, we're going to know that our kids are getting into our university system. Number two, as they get their degrees here, we're going to find that this is where they're going to make their homes and raise their families and contribute to the overall society of Wisconsin. Is that a terrible thing? We do talk to our universities in Wisconsin, and they say, hey, we get out-of-state students, and you know what? We're able to keep about 60% of them here in Wisconsin. Well, why in the world would we create obstacles or not give that automatic admission to our students? Because if they go to another state, that state's going to brag, we kept 60% of those Wisconsin kids. I don't think that's a smart idea. I don't think that's a smart outcome. Finally, the Committee for Colleges and Universities does have oversight authority. They should question what the university is doing. I think there's a misnomer that the university is the empirical authority on all issues, because I could name a number of those issues that it isn't turning out well. I can go back to when I went to college. There's a number of other people in my age category. Our kids aren't coming out with the same level of knowledge, capability, and opportunity to go into the workplace as we did back then. We find multiple colleges telling us, hey, we have to go back and do remedial reading. We have to do remedial math in order for our freshman students to know what they're doing. I'd like to have the top 10% first acknowledged and accepted into our colleges because they probably passed those things. So there's a variety of reasons for supporting this. Number one, it's for our students, their parents, our high schools, in terms of their performance. The university system is not going to be hurt taking in the best of the best. And ultimately, it's good for Wisconsin because we will have a better future with a well-educated workforce and management staff that comes out of our university.